But yeah.
Okay, let me go on record first. My name is Moses Otieno Kajuang, Senator from Homa Bay. I'm the substantive chair, but today this session is going to be chaired by my vice chair up to the end. Vice chair and honorable members, Nairobi City County wrote a letter to the clerk seeking a postponement of today's meeting. And that is why some of us made other arrangements. But I'm happy that they have come, because if they would have failed to come today, then the Inspector General of Police would have had to find the governor again. So that explains why I had some scheduling conflicts, but it's good that the governor is here. We can prosecute the matters of Nairobi. If you allow me, I know the governor has referred to my advice in the past, and it has been my personal view that this ought to be the direction where ICT is looked at as a shared service across government, both national and county. Members, you remember the other day we were looking at Kilifi, which negotiated a revenue share deal of, was it 20 or 30%? 30% of revenue, and they were collecting 4 million from the county to pay salaries for the service providers. So it's a big mess. It's a big mess, which can be cured by looking at ICT and systems as a shared service. But the narration is nice, but in this committee, we look at compliance with the law. And Governor, having looked at your technical support framework for integrated county revenue management system, and going to page 6 of 9, which is headed finances, that is appendix 13.10, which you have referred to in your response. Appendix 13.10, on page 6 of 9 of that appendix. It's just before the placeholder for 14. Just the placeholder for 14, you have some signatures there. Go to page 6 of 9. Page 6 of 9, there is a clause there on finances, which says this framework will be funded under a government-to-government revenue share model. MIC and DE will consume a percentage of total revenue collected per month as negotiated and expended in accordance with the provisions of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, the Public Finance Management Act, and attendant regulations. So, Governor, I heard you say it was a G2G arrangement, but this particular clause makes it clear that it must still be subjected to the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Would you be able to share with us that process in documentary form?
Yes, we'll share it. Chair, this transitioned into a contract. The Public Procurement and Asset Disposal recognizes government-to-government contracting, or even using what has passed in another government before to contract. It recognizes it. We made sure we followed the law. We had advice from PPRA very closely, because you know these are very sensitive area. This area, if you don't contract nicely, you have 30 people in court against it, other vendors who would have wanted to provide this service, because it is money guaranteed, Chair. So we'll be able to...
What was that other process? Because ideally you'd find the revenue share prescribed in an agreement like this. But this then directed you to follow the law to come up with a proper pricing model. Is there, could you describe to us that process?
I don't have it here, but it's a normal contracting process that includes negotiation to come up with the rate. If you want that process substantively, I would ask, I don't have the from procurement.
Yeah, because members, you know, we were treated to some story here by my home county about a lease agreement, and we had a procurement person coming and telling us they didn't have BQs, etc. If this was subject to the public procurement laws, and we are looking at an expenditure of about, the auditor is putting it at what? Is it 450? Huh?
on the last revenue 540,
540 million.
but based on what we want to collect, it can go up to.
Yeah, so it would be nice. I mean, as someone who understands this space, the software service agreement, ICT as a shared service makes a lot of sense to me. But then there must be compliance with the law on procurement, and that must start from having a procurement plan, having a budget, because this is a significant amount that you just can't wake up and do, having a procurement professional doing a professional opinion at initiation or at the end of the process. That must be documented and that must be demonstrated. I don't know whether Auditor General, it's a question you have asked, and whether you have been satisfied that that particular clause on finances was done in accordance with the law.
Auditor, you know, we have auditor and we have a technical person there. Is that something you want to respond to? No.
Yeah, we can
yes,
bring
Governor.
the entire procurement of this as a standalone in a number of days.
Sorry, Chair. Though perhaps there could be someone in the team who has got that institutional memory, so that instead of telling you to bring a carton of documents, maybe there's someone who can give us an explanation that might reduce that need.
Yeah, I thought I had a gentleman through the chair that said something about revenue. The gentleman cited to the media personality. You introduce yourself as such.
Leave even that one. This is the receiver of revenue.
Oh yeah,
But
receiver of
the person
revenue.
who to respond is the director of procurement, because we're talking about the procurement process, isn't it? So I would not want anyone to misrepresent the facts before this committee, because I really respect this committee.
Okay.
I have 100% respect.
But Chair, the governor, they are speaking. With your indulgence, Chair, all your officials are speaking through you, because you have taken the oath. So you don't have a trust in all of them that they'll give you faith.
I know what everyone does. Here there's a doctor. I can't ask about this.
Okay, because I had somebody with revenue reporting and what have you, and there's a weakness. Chair, can I propose this? Chair, since you had in when Senator Dulo was chairing briefing, even IT person from the OAG, we had a lot of, why don't we propose this? That we do this issue as standalone, we do an IT audit and recommend a forensic, because this spending of 2.7 billion is a lot of cash. So we cannot close over.
You already asked for that.
We cannot close over an issue. I don't know why the governor is excited. His sugar should be going down by now. Unless he's consuming something we don't know, because it's not covered. So, Chair, what I'm proposing is very simple.
Yeah.
That's
There is
you're out of order.
You know,
Senator, just withdraw.
this.
But I've said he's consuming something we don't know. It's just to go on record and say what he's consuming, and we rest there. Anyway, I can't tell what, maybe water. So I replace with water. He's taking water.
Senator, I think we've had a good meeting so far. Let's not trivialize our discussions in the direction.
Senator, we are on a very serious business, please.
Chair, we are, that is, I've already said he's taking water.
Okay.
Which other thing would I rephrase? So, Chair, what I'm proposing is very.
Governor, relax.
Is the
Secretary, ask your question, which is.
Yes, that's why I'm saying this spending of 2.7 billion in 5-year contract. I've agreed with the governor. He has said he wants a standalone on this issue, and it's also my feeling that if we can do further detailed analysis of this matter, so that for the longest time I've been in this committee, when he took over as the governor, this matter has recurred. And I think either the OAG are not getting him, or the governor is not making himself crystal clear, because I can suspect, even when you look at the previous year matters, the same issues governor is still raising. So is there a way we can conclude this matter once and for all through in-depth analysis, together with the Senate, the OAG and the governor, and then we keep a detailed report on the matter, so that we...
Governor, you're saying something very that already that is in the process.
In the last audit, you directed that the Auditor General does a system audit, which has been done. So I don't know which other system audit Senator Cherargei wants.
But
unless he's consuming something which...
Governor, I think I've had a very good meeting up to now.
No, there is no problem. I don't need to apologize on what I consume.
That was on a light note. I was just informing you, Chair. Sorry, I apologize. That already that was asked for. And maybe the Auditor General can then...
Auditor, do we have a report to that effect on the same?
Because we have never seen it, and that's why it's reappeared.
Yes, yes. We need to know if that audit was done, the systems audit.
Okay, thank you, Chair. From the IT perspective, there was a request for the IT, the system audit that had been requested. So
Has it been done? Do you have a report?
we can only review back to the IT auditors.
Project a bit, don't project
for
a
the current
bit.
status of the system, but they had done a portion of it that was incorporated in last year's report.
Audit report.
Yeah, the
Last
previous
year's.
year's report, the previous 2023-2024. Yeah.
You see, Chair,
Yes,
so where I'm,
Mutambua.
where I'm seated, I don't think I want to hear about a part of it, because if we have reason to believe what the governor is saying, and there's no reason to doubt him, that this is a system that goes beyond just collection of revenue. It gives you visibility to a lot more other things in the county government. And if he says then it's a government system, then my understanding of it is that other counties can also plug in. Yeah, can plug in. And you know, Chair, where I sit from Kitui, and I'm very sure you can say the same thing about Taita Taveta and other counties. There is a lot of leakage in revenue collection. The systems are brought, some of them just designed to pilferage funds from. If this system then is what the county government of Nairobi is saying it is, then there will be need for an engagement after the audit, an engagement between ourselves and the county government of Nairobi, and so that we can even authoritatively advise other county governments to acquire or go into whatever contract with the system and raise the funds that we keep fighting about here every day.
Chair, with the indulgence, just 30 seconds. I heard my sister here, the OAG, saying part of the system audit was incorporated in last year. I thought as a committee, we had requested an independent, because the OAG can do special audit, forensic audit, ID audit, the normal audit that we do. So, Chair, I thought you need now to be specific that we needed a standalone system audit so that we can put this rest to matter, because this matter has recurred in many financial year. And I thought, and then maybe if you had the OAG say they have, I don't know whether they were able to have full access to audit the system so that they can give us a report, and then we rest the matter. Thank you,
So
Chair.
OAG is almost asking the same, that if the audit was done in the last financial year, 24-25, do you have a paragraph on the same, or we have a separate report?
So the request was not only on the system, it was going to other issues. So it was incorporated now part of that report for 23-24. But specifically for the system, no, we didn't have the request.
Okay.
Yeah.
Governor, what members are asking
So,
and
Governor,
the
you
auditor,
can see I was right.
just Senator Cherargei,
Through the Chair.
ask for the mic.
Oh, sorry. with
I've
the
not given you the mic,
indulgence.
so put off your mic.
Okay.
Just put off your mic. Yeah. That we want to understand that the whole of that system, from procurement, and it's working. Now, if you have documents that you can give us in the matters to do with procurement, and as Senator Ombo is saying, if it is a very good system, then it's something you can propose to be replicated to all the other counties. That's why we are really dwelling on this, not to find fault, but to understand it and also propose it as defenders of devolution, because we want OSR for every county to go up. Yeah, that is the really thrust.
Chair, maybe if
Yes,
I can,
Senator Kajwang, then you can pick
make
all of them.
a comment that the governor could respond to. First of all, Auditor General, is this system capitalized in the assets of the county? Because software is an asset. Did you find it sitting there as an asset?
Thank you, Chair. We are in the process of transitioning. So yes, it is part of the capital, but now we transition. Within the 3 years now transition, we give the entities 3 years, and they're able to prepare a comprehensive asset register.
No, Auditor, you know that applies to the other difficult to identify assets that have transitional challenges. But something like software,
It is
licenses, Is it captured as an asset?
Yes. it
Governor, is it captured as an asset, and what is its value?
I have to check. I don't have that offered.
Yeah, because if it's capitalized on the side of Nairobi City County, then it's owned by Nairobi City County.
You're confusing us again. So if it is not owned by the Nairobi City County, how is it an asset of the county?
Remember, it can be owned by Nairobi City County, but hosted elsewhere. You know, Nairobi City County can rent a cloud, and I think that's a software as a service thing. You are renting a cloud provided by Konza ICT Authority, or are you renting the entire service? Are you? Is it a furnished apartment, or is it an apartment where you are coming in with your furniture?
No, Chair, he had made it clear that the ownership is with Konza, and that the only thing we own is the brand.
No, but if it's capitalized, then it's a different story.
Is it possible then, members, I propose that we look at the next paragraph in terms of response, that is underutilization of Nairobi County Tier 1 server room due to outsourced hosting of revenue system, to assist us to understand that.
Maybe I just make a comment before we go there.
Okay.
So we must establish whether this has been capitalized, and then using that analogy of an apartment furnished or unfurnished, because that's what software service model is. You rent space somewhere. You can rent space and bring in your software, or you can rent space with its own software and you pay, a higher lease. Then, auditor, the other thing we must confirm: who receives this 4.5%? Is it the ICT authority? Is it Konza? Because the parties in this agreement is the Ministry of ICT through the Information and Communication Technology Authority. So you must also give us that assurance through documentary evidence and trail of transactions. Who is receiving the 4.5? When Nairobi pays it, is it reflected in the books of ICT Authority? I think in my view, honourable members, for me there are only three things to question, which is a procurement process, the payment of the 4.5, who's receiving it, and confirmation of ownership, and that can be established by checking whether this software has been capitalized in the books of Nairobi, or capitalized in the book of ICT Authority, or capitalized in both, which would be a scam.